Alright, good morning everybody. What is going on, my friends? How you doing? How are you doing? Welcome everyone. And it is time for some fun here on stream today. A full day of streaming, a full day of next gen streaming, all PS5 stuff today, which I hope you guys are excited for. Today's going to be a chill day. Today, I'm going to be doing stuff that is not super duper taxing, not super duper stressful. It's going to be a fun, relaxing day of PlayStation 5 next gen content. Okay? First of all, before I get started, I already tagged Randy O'Butternub in the stream chat, but he hasn't responded yet. Randy O'Butternub, if you are listening, if you could please respond in the stream chat and let me know if you did tip me this morning. Just already trying to clear out anything fake before we get started here today. So let me know. It might be someone fake. And I just want to confirm if that was you who tipped me today or not. Thank you very much. Alright, so. Alright, he says I did tip. Cool. Thank you, Randy. And again, I apologize that I have to ask people live on the stream because of the incredible amount of impersonators. Last night, live on the stream, someone tipped twice and a third tip came in and it wasn't them. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Anyway, first of all, before we even get started, congratulations and welcome to those who have obtained their PlayStation 5 today for the very first time. For some odd reason, they couldn't do a worldwide simultaneous launch. Don't ask me why. But they couldn't do it. They couldn't pull it off. So many territories, including most of Europe, got the PlayStation 5 today. So if you are one of the lucky people who got in on that and actually got a PlayStation 5 today, congratulations. So far, from my experience with the console, I think you'll like it. I haven't really had many problems. A few little annoyances here or there with the audio and also with the fact that the game, well, the console makes it pretty confusing as to what version of the game you want to download and then somehow flips the versions of the game on your dashboard, making you almost accidentally play the PlayStation 4 version. But outside of those little kind of nitpicky bugs, it's a great console in my opinion. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Absolutely enjoying the games on it. So I certainly hope that you guys will enjoy it as well. And welcome to the next gen family. Now, for those of you who were not able to get a PlayStation 5 and you wanted one, I'm sorry. I almost didn't get one, you know, and I pre-ordered on freaking launch day and almost I didn't get one. So I feel for you. I hope that they're able to restock quickly and you guys can get one because it's not fair that it was such a shit show this year getting a PlayStation 5. It really was a complete and utter shit show. Okay. Anyway, what are we doing today? Today we're going to be doing some really cool stuff. The first stream here is going to be the continuation and the conclusion of Astro's Playroom. This is the game that is pre-installed on every PlayStation 5 that is an excellent tech demo of the haptic feedback of the DualSense controller on the PlayStation 5. It really showcases what the haptic feedback can do, and I really enjoyed it. So far I've played 2 out of the 4 worlds, and then I believe there's a finale world. I've had a lot of fun with it. And I'm looking forward to more. There's tons of Sony Easter eggs and references in this to Sony franchise games and the like. We've seen things like The Last of Us and God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn and many, many, many other games referenced so far in this playthrough. And I'm looking forward to more, okay? Now, if we end up kind of completing the main game early, because I've heard the game's about 5 hours long, and so right now I'm over 2 hours into it, okay? Then what I will do is I will try to go back and get some of the items that I missed to try to platinum the game. Apparently, platinuming the game is not difficult. It's pretty easy. If you just look at the trophies list or you go back and do a few quick things here or there, it's not that hard at all. So, I may do it, I may not. It depends on time constraints today. I'm not 100% dead set on platinuming the damn thing. But if we have time to do it, then maybe I'll try to do it, okay? But I definitely want to finish this today. Some people have asked me, why am I doing this? Because it's very simple. It's one of the games that's one of the shortest games of PlayStation 5. I've really enjoyed it. I know I'm going to enjoy more of it as we play it today. And it's good to get it out of the way. Because when we get the shorter stuff out of the way, now we can focus on the longer range playthroughs that are going to take weeks to beat, and not have to worry about, oh no, there's this game that I have to wedge in now because it's already done with, you see? Why not get the tech demo out of the way so that we can focus on the meaty games? You see what I'm saying? So that being said, I certainly hope you guys will enjoy this stream. It'll be a much more chill stream because it will not be ultra serious gameplay. I won't have to be hyper focused like I was yesterday on the Call of Duty campaign. Instead, it'll be more relaxing and very fun platforming. Hopefully the music is also as good as it's been so far. It's been really good. Okay. Okay. Now, later tonight, the late night stream will be the continuation of Bug Snacks. That's right. Bug Snacks is on the late stream. And this is actually the first time I'm focusing in on Bug Snacks as a major stream. 2 hours of gameplay tonight. I don't actually know how long Bug Snacks is. At this point, I'm about 3 hours into it. And I've recruited many different islanders to the village. I don't actually know how many villagers there are overall on the island. But I'm definitely interested in Bug Snacks because not only is it cute catching these living pieces of food, but the plot is intriguing. What actually happened on this island? What are bug snacks and where do they come from? What happened to the older people who in ancient civilizations were living on this island and somehow disappeared? Why are there skeletons buried all over the island? What happened to the woman researcher who invited you to the island? Like, all these are unanswered questions. The game is an ongoing air of mystery. It's kind of a detective story along with almost like a Pokemon-esque catching game. I really like it. And I'm looking forward to more tonight. Again, I don't know how long Bug Snacks is, but the more I play it, the more intrigued I am by it. And so I'm definitely looking forward to more of it tonight. Okay? So I hope you'll join me tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, for the continuation of Bug Snacks. Alright? Tomorrow, it's the complete opposite of what we're doing today. Today is the more relaxing, chill day. Tomorrow is the get good day. Okay? Tomorrow, it's Demon Souls on the first gameplay stream. For those who've been following along the playthrough, you'll know I'm in World 3-1, and I'm more than halfway through it. I'm nearing the end of it. So we're going to try to finish that up. I don't know if I'll be able to. I know there's some very challenging stuff coming up in World 3-1. And then, maybe I can go back to World 2-1 and fight that boss again, or maybe I'll just continue on. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, but Demon Souls is super fucking tough, but also fun, and I hope you guys will join me for that tomorrow. Then tomorrow night, Friday night, I also got to get good, because it's time for Black Ops Cold War multiplayer. A 2-hour multiplayer stream of Black Ops Cold War. I really like the multiplayer of the game, even though I've only played like 3 modes out of the very wide amount of modes that are in the game. Haven't touched zombies, haven't touched Warzone yet. It'll just be standard multiplayer, okay? So that's tomorrow. It's the competitive, basically like the ultra challenging competitive day. Then on Saturday, I will attempt to finish up the campaign of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War on the main gameplay stream. The game has some side content missions that I definitely want to do, but also, you know, we're progressing nicely in the main campaign. I'm enjoying it. Yesterday was a great stream, so I'm looking forward to more of that on Saturday. And then on Saturday night, we're actually going to go back to Assassin's Creed Valhalla for a 2-hour night stream to see how the game plays on PlayStation 5. I have not done that. I've only basically played it for 2 minutes during my kind of testing period earlier this weekend, and then I never really went back to it, so we're going to go back to it this weekend on Saturday, okay? On Sunday, we're going to actually play Spider-Man Miles Morales, which I have not played either. I only played 1 hour of it. The first half hour, I was blown away by the graphics and how well they were, how great they held up. And the second half, when I actually got into the gameplay of the game, I was like, wow, it plays exactly like the original Spider-Man game, and I'm kind of like, just shrugging and being like, I don't know if this is going to be any good. So we're actually going to find out this Sunday if it's any good or not. Some people are raving that Miles Morales is incredibly good, but I didn't really give it a fair shot yet. So this Sunday will be a major stream to see if it's good. And here's the thing. If we play Miles Morales this Sunday and I really like it, then I will add it more to the main rotation as a game that I'll play during the main streams. It's just that the other stuff's kind of more intriguing to me right now. And I'm trying to get through as much as I can. If I finish up the campaign of Black Ops Cold War, that's another thing down, and then we can focus on other games, you see? Sunday night, I'm going to be doing more Yakuza 7. So the Yakuza 7 playthrough will continue on Sunday night. And then on Monday, more Demon Souls. And then Monday night, more Bug Snacks. Okay? So that is the schedule for the entire weekend. That is a crazy amount of variety. I know I'm juggling 7 games. As of today, once I finish Astro's Playroom, that'll reduce the number to 6, which is a good thing. Once I finish the campaign of Black Ops Cold War, that will mean that with Black Ops Cold War, it'll just be multiplayer stuff, which means I could wedge in a couple night streams or whatever a week, and we won't have to worry about that taking up a major stream either, you see? So I'm trying to tackle this as well as I can. Now listen, I am well aware that there are other games coming out that I have not played. I have not played Sackboy yet. I have not played Godfall yet. And tomorrow, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity releases, alright? These are obviously 3 high-profile releases people are interested in, but there's no way I can take on more playthroughs right now. I've got to focus in on the games that I'm playing now. Chances are, just with the games I'm playing right now, these games might take me all the way into when Cyberpunk releases on December 10th. That's how lengthy some of these games are. You know what I mean? Like, I really feel that there's just going to be so much going on that I'm not going to be doing that stuff right away. I'm interested. Let me tell you, Sackboy, I really like the Little Big Planet games when it comes to the campaigns. I don't like the world creation, and the fact that this one doesn't have world creation, it's just a platformer, is interesting to me. Usually those games run really well on PlayStation consoles, and I'm curious to see how Sackboy fares on the PlayStation 5. But we'll see. When will I get around to it? I have no idea, dude. I really don't. Okay? So there you go. Now, a few other quick things. Thank you guys for contributing to the streams. If you cheer, sub, and tip during today's stream, I will give you a shout out as a way of saying thank you. I appreciate all contributions. They all help. Even though contributions are not mandatory nor expected, they are greatly appreciated, and I thank you all for supporting the streams. Recently, you guys have been really generous. Along with the launch of PlayStation 5, I really appreciate that you guys have been showing up to the streams and being supportive. Thank you very much for that. If you're watching this on demand on YouTube, thank you for watching the videos on YouTube. Viewership has been up this week. No surprise, it's PlayStation 5 week. If you like the videos on YouTube, I do strongly recommend you check the description of the video, because I don't make a lot of ad revenue on YouTube, and to be honest, a lot of the videos of PlayStation 5 have been claimed by third-party companies for music. I'm not really going to go through which ones, but there's certain playthroughs that I haven't made a penny on, okay? So if you like the coverage I'm doing, check the descriptions of the videos, consider contributing in a way outside of just watching on YouTube, because sadly, yeah, these companies claim a lot of the crap. It ain't fair, but that's just how YouTube works, okay? All right. Now, as you guys would notice, subs have been up and down, up and down. Subscribers at one point this week were over 875. Then they went down below 800. Now we're back to 800 again. If you want to subscribe to the channel, great. You get many benefits to doing so, including access to over 40 emotes, getting a cool chat crown badge to show how long you've been a supporter. You don't have to watch advertisements when I take ad breaks. It's all very beneficial to you, and of course, it's beneficial to me. It keeps the channel going. You may want to sub yourself if you're not, or 'tis the season to possibly gift a sub to other viewers if there's someone here who you like, or you just want to anonymously gift a sub to someone. It's all possible and is all appreciated. Thank you very much to those who have been supporting the channel. We already hit both sub goals for this month. And that means not only will there be a holiday marathon event right before Christmas, but also a special edition of Holiday DSP Tries It. I got to look for holiday-themed stuff to do for DSP Tries It now. So, good stuff coming up as a result of your support, and I appreciate that very much. Now, the only thing that I want to say before I get to shout-outs today, ladies and gentlemen, please be respectful of other people's opinions, and please do not, if you can avoid it, become ignorant and just jump into a mass mindset just because other people are part of that mindset. All right? The reason I bring this up is because in the last 24 hours, I have been bombarded with tweets from ignorant people who think that just because someone doesn't think that The Last of Us is a Game of the Year contender or didn't like it, that the opinion doesn't matter, that the opinion is unqualified, that you're a misogynist, that you're a sexist, that you're a racist, a bigot. I mean, this is the actual narrative that's being pushed on the internet because people who like The Last of Us 2 have pushed such an agenda down everyone's throats that, oh, The Last of Us 2, it has tons of representation. The Last of Us 2 takes artistic risks with the plot. So if you don't like it, it must be because you're just some kind of a very, very biased and ignorant bigot. And obviously that's not the case. People have the right to not like something, especially if they can justify it. All right? Example here is when I didn't like The Last of Us 2, I made an hour-long review explaining the critical flaws in the storytelling of the game. The fact that the characters were completely misrepresented from the way that they were represented in the first game. The way that the pacing absolutely ruined the game because it was just paced poorly and the writing could have been reorganized to make it a much more enjoyable game. But because of the way that the game was paced, it just wasn't enjoyable to me. All right? Now, that's just two of the main plot things that make the game unenjoyable to me. There's many other things. But I did an hour-long review about it, right? And when you actually say on the internet, I didn't like The Last of Us 2 and I don't think it's Game of the Year, and then people attack you and you say, well, here's my justification as to why, they say, oh, I don't want to watch your content. I don't care about your opinion. It's like, what? Wait a minute. You're going to attack me because I said that your game that you love, that you're a fanboy for, isn't Game of the Year material, in my opinion. Here's my justification why. I don't want to hear your justification. So you're an idiot. Because if you're going to bother stepping up to argue and defend something, then you have to be able to consciously and intelligently listen to other people's justifications of it. You have to be open-minded. Or else you're the closed-minded bigot because you refuse to listen to other people's perspectives. Okay? I was told in the last 24 hours on Twitter that because I'm white and a white male, that my opinion doesn't matter. I'm not kidding. I was told that because I'm a white male and my opinion doesn't matter, that also I can't be ever judged in a racist way because I'm white. What? Someone said my opinion doesn't matter because I'm white, and then when I said, well, that's kind of racist, they said, oh, you can't, you know, you're a clown if you think that white people can be judged in a racist way. What? But you just did it. But you see what I'm saying? Like, this is just, it's insane, the amount of shit that these people throw at you. And the funny part about all this is, I'm not conservative. I want you guys to understand something. First of all, this is not a political discussion. It's not. But I'm not a conservative. All right? It's not like I'm a staunch registered Republican and I vote for Republican conservative beliefs. I'm not. I'm very liberal. I've told you guys on my streams many times, I am very accepting of people of all races, creeds, genders, sexualities. I don't care. I want everyone to just be happy on this planet and have a good life. Everyone's entitled to their own happiness as long as they don't try to hinder and step on other people's safety or beliefs or happiness, then that's fine. I don't understand what these people actually think that because I don't like The Last of Us 2, that I'm some kind of like crazy staunch liberal. Well, that's not true. But this is the actual narrative that has been created around The Last of Us 2, okay? And so when those Game of the Year Awards nominees were announced yesterday, and I tweeted Jeff Keighley and I said, hey, would it be possible to actually have real gamers vote on this instead of just some kind of a select group of journalists who have some kind of a weighted opinion on it? Because I really get the feeling it won't be fair because these journalists kissed the game's butt for all the wrong reasons. You know, journalists who said, this is the best game ever because it's a very risky artistic plot. Or, this game's great because of its representation. You know, those things that real gamers don't care about. You know, people who actually work hard to earn money and then they go out and they buy a game with their own hard-earned money. Most people who do that are expecting a fun experience. An experience that when they play it, they're like, wow, I had a ton of fun playing that game because that's the point of gaming. Not, wow, I played a 20-hour misery porn game where I was miserable the entire time, everyone just killed each other who I liked, and the game is gory as fuck, and now I feel terrible for playing it. You know, that's the difference here. Okay, but that's the thing that these journalists don't understand because they're not that. They're not using their money to buy the game. So when they play the game, they can look for these esoteric things that a regular gamer isn't looking for, right? They don't even care about the fun factor of the game. They just care about, oh, wow, was there some really artistic, different thing in this game? Oh, 10 out of 10. What? Was the game fun to play? Yes or no? Fun, what's that? Well, you're you're a gaming journalist. You should be rating the game on fun factor because that's what your fucking audience cares about. If they're having fun playing. Oh, I don't care about that, but it was really cool that there was a really strong woman in the game. What? The fuck are you talking about? I have no issue that the game had representation. I actually don't care if the game took risks with its plot. What I care about was it fun. It wasn't fun for me, therefore I didn't like the game, and it ain't a Game of the Year contender. But other people might disagree and say, I actually really like the plot, and therefore it's a fun game, and if that's the case, fine. But what I'm finding on the internet is there's just insane bias towards this game that if you like the game, it's because you're part of the in crowd, you're part of the woke crowd, and you get it. And if you didn't like the game, oh, you're just a bigot. It's like, what the fuck? That was exactly the spin that the game devs put. Neil Druckmann himself, as well as the voice actors, as well as other people who worked on this game, very, very hard, very strongly pushed a PR campaign stating that people who didn't like their game were bigots. They did it on purpose to make it seem like it's cool to like The Last of Us 2. They did it on purpose to promote their game, and idiots bought into it because they're weak-minded fools. Instead of actually looking at the game objectively of what it was and saying, gee, compared to other games this year, weighing in the gameplay, weighing in the content of the plot, the pacing of the plot, weighing in graphics, weighing in length of the game. You know, things that as a reviewer should objectively be reviewing. Instead, those all got thrown by the wayside to say, well, the game has representation, the game is woke, and the game took risks and artistically laid out a plot that's very different from other games, and therefore this game's Game of the Year. That's not how you review a game. At least, that's not how you review a game responsibly. And all it did, because they teamed up with the game devs with this basic mentality, all right? What it did was it created this almost inclusive club of you're either with us or you're against us. Either you like this game and you're woke, or you hate this game and you're a bigot. And there was no in between, which is impossible. How is it that I can justify my opinion that I don't like the game? I said, I can justify it because I wrote a giant review about it, right? A giant review explaining why I didn't like the game, okay? And all my opinions justify. What happened? Oh, you're a bigot. What? How am I a bigot? What are you even talking about? Right? Oh my God, excuse me. So, that's what I mean. It's hilarious on Twitter, even reading what these people are saying, arguing with people like this, you realize as you start to talk with these people, they don't even have an opinion of their own. They 100% are sheep. They're crowd thinkers. Because the moment that you counter them with some kind of intelligent fact or, oh, here's my actual opinion, watch my review. Oh, I'm not doing that. I can't do that. I can't actually be forced to have some kind of a factual justification for something you're saying. Instead, I'm just going to continue to be in my very close-minded crowd think mentality. And it's like, okay, I mean, if that's how you really want to go through life, just being a sheep, I mean, I guess more power to you. No one can stop you from being a dumb fuck sheep. But at the same time, that's a hell of a way to go through life. That's certainly a hell of a way to go through life, just being ignorant. I couldn't imagine. Me, I'm someone who's independent, someone who wants to think for himself, and I can justify my opinions with facts. But apparently some people can't. They just need to be told what to think. And then they just follow along with it. So, it is what it is, I guess. But it's funny because some people are like, Phil, why are you arguing with these people on Twitter? It's not that I'm arguing. It's just, it's sad to see that there's so many of these people exist and that they actually think that this is, legitimate thought. You know what I mean? It's shocking. It's actually shocking that this exists. And these people, but the thing is, there's probably tons of people like that who exist on the internet, and they just go right along with the flow. No independent thought, just do what we're told. Don't want to hear anything contrary to what I believe or what I'm told to believe, and I become part of this groupthink mentality, and that's it. It's like, wow, what a way to go through. And that actually is true. Silent Weapons just made a joke about it. Someone actually said to me, oh, I really want to care about the opinion of someone who's dressed like Colonel Sanders in their Twitter profile picture. Okay? I want you to think about that. Because of my Halloween costume, my opinion is invalid. I think that's where I can end this discussion. I think I can actually just end this discussion with that. Because, right? Because you know what I mean? Once you get to that point, there's just no arguing with these people anymore. That's, okay. Fair enough. If you're that stupid, I don't even know. Is there even really a reason to address this further? If you're that dumb, you're that dumb, and I guess there's just no helping you, right? Holy shit. That's pretty bad, don't you think? I certainly think so. I don't know about you guys. I mean, yikes. That may be like the definition of stupidity. So, okay. Anyway. Anyway, folks, I guess we can now move on from that. I don't want to talk about it at length or anything like that. There's just no point. Okay, there's no point in arguing with people like this. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us now do some shout-outs. I'm trying to get the point here I can do. Here we go. Okay, some shout-outs. We have some overnight cheering from Golden Colts. First of all, he says we can't let Jasper win. Running along with a stupid meme that we can't let the tractors win, which I did not create. But anyway, thank you for that. Then he cheered again. He says, have you ever considered wearing gloves while you play games on stream? You could have a secure grip on the gamepad in high-stress, sweaty gameplay sessions. You can make it the $25 tip skull. No. No. I've never considered that. In general, my hands don't get too sweaty when I game. There are a few instances where I guess I could say they do. Usually they don't. So I wouldn't need that, and I think it's kind of silly anyway. No, I'm not going to wear gamer gloves. Then he cheered again. He said, we can't let the Game Awards win. All right. And then he cheered one more time. Thank you for the overnight cheers there, Golden Colts. I appreciate that. Shadow the Hedgehog did a 500-bit cheer. That is the biggest cheer of the day to get the cheering started, and I appreciate that, Shadow. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. Good to see you, by the way. How 500 bits. And he says, now that you have the PS5, you can get Mega Man X Legacy Collection and replay Mega Man X3 and finally beat Sigma. No, I cannot. Well, I guess technically I could. No, I cannot. Screw that. Thank you for the cheer. Knight in the DSP Army did a 50-bit cheer and says, Cyberpunk 2077 team at CD Projekt Red have now confirmed that streamers will not have to worry about the new heavy DMCA regulations on Twitch when streaming their game because there's been a soundtrack built from the scratch. Thoughts on this? Also, someone else told me this morning that apparently they're actually including a mode that's called streamer mode. Okay? And this mode allows you to disable any kind of music that has a license attached to it. So they will have proprietary music to the game, not to, some actual musician made it and it got put into the game and now it gets claimed when you play the game. That's great. I'm happy they did that. Quite frankly, a lot of the times when there's licensed music in a game, it's more jarring than anything else. I would say the example that is the opposite of that is yesterday I was playing the Black Ops Cold War campaign. I actually really enjoyed having licensed tracks in that game. Even for as short as they played, they actually fit the game. It was pretty nice because you were trying to put yourself into the shoes of someone of a different time period, right? So I really enjoyed that. But that being said, I definitely enjoy having licensed music in some cases, but not others. In other cases, I think it's very, very, it pulls you out of the gameplay experience, or it feels weird. Like when I was playing Spider-Man Miles Morales, and you're on the rooftops, and all of a sudden it starts playing lyrics, you're like, what? I'm on the rooftop. Explain how I'm hearing music with lyrics. It's just weird sometimes. So, for me, that's good. That means I'll be able to play the game, not have to worry about copyright issues here on Twitch or on YouTube. So, that's excellent. Good news. Rob on Wheels did a 600-bit cheer. That is now the biggest cheer of the day. And he says, I wanted to ask if you're still experiencing the same issue with the camera during combat sequences in Souls games. Excuse me. Was it fixed in this remake? I have not had a giant issue with it yet, Rob. But at the same time, at least once or twice the camera did kind of crowd me. Although it didn't seem to be an issue that lasted a long time. It seems like it would be there for a minute and then, okay, or not even a minute, like a second, and then it would kind of correct itself. But again, it could just be that I'm not in a situation where it's an issue yet. Once I start fighting giant enemies in small confined spaces, then I'll be able to tell you more appropriately if it is still an issue or not, okay? Gotcha? Alright, so, thank you, Rob. You're the biggest cheer of the day. 600-bit cheer. I got you on the leaderboard there. And as we get further into Demon's Souls, I'll let you know even further. Okay? Yo boy Lem tipped me $4.20. I said just tipping for Yakuza 7 on YouTube. I appreciate that. Because yesterday when I was playing Yakuza, I basically explained both to the streaming audience and to the YouTube audience that if people were going to want me to play the game at length, alright, that they were going to have to be supportive, just being honest, okay? There's so many games going on right now. 7 games I'm juggling. And there is a lot of demand for me to play certain games over others. I am continuing to play Yakuza 7 despite the fact that I would say the group who want me to play it is a much smaller group than, say, people who want to see me play Demon's Souls or Call of Duty, etc. Those games have way more demand on them right now than a game like Yakuza 7. I like Yakuza 7, but I have to do what's right, not only for what I want to play, but also for my business. And, you know, yes, when I play games on stream, it's business, okay? I need to make sure that I'm making money as well as having fun. It goes hand in hand. My mentality is, if I'm putting out an entertaining stream for you guys, hopefully you guys will understand that this is great content you want to see continue, and you'll contribute during the streams naturally. I don't have to constantly be asking for contributions or whatever, right? In the case of games like Dragon Quest XI or Judgment, that's exactly what happened. You guys who really liked those lengthy JRPG-style playthroughs came out for the streams, and even though the viewership wasn't sky high, people supported those streams, and therefore I was able to do incredibly lengthy, almost not completionist, but you know what I mean, like very well-paced, doing side content instead of rushing through kind of playthroughs of them, and I really enjoyed those playthroughs a lot, alright? But, that being said, people who like that content have to understand that I need support during those streams. I can't just sit here and play an insanely long stream of a JRPG and make $5. It's not going to fly when there's 6 other games people are clamoring to see and are willing to step up and be supportive of because they want to see them so much. Gotcha? See what I'm saying? So I hope you understand that now. Your boy Lem basically must have watched the Yakuza 7 videos last night, swung by, and has contributed, and I appreciate that very much, your boy Lem. Thank you very much. I would hope that other people would follow suit because, as I've said many times, the ad revenue on YouTube for videos is terribly bad compared to how it used to be. It's not anywhere near enough to make any kind of living. And even on my best days, it's like, oh my god, wow, this is so bad compared to how it used to be. So I would hope if you do like this content, if you're watching this video right now on demand on YouTube, check the description of the video, support it, all right, if you like it. It's not just about ad revenue anymore. It never it hasn't been for many years. YouTube really lost their way with ads, and, you know, I rely on crowdfunding in order to keep afloat, not ad revenue, okay? Brandy O Buttered Up took me $20. I did have to confirm this was him, because it looks like he used the express checkout feature, but I did confirm with him in the stream chat it is him. So thank you, Randy O Buttered Up, for a $20 tip. Let's get you up on the leaderboard as the top tipper of the day. And that jumps us up to $24 in tips so far today. Thank you, Randy, for your contribution. He says, I'm definitely ready for another chill PS5 stream. With all the chaos and garbage going on outside, this is a great place to de-stress. I appreciate that, Randy. Thank you very much for the tip. And, excuse me. Thank you for the nice supportive message as well. By the way, I will say this. Thank you to those who are being patient and understand that I kind of need to confirm tips now. When I see a tip come in, especially one that does not link to anyone's account, but instead is kind of like, oh, an anonymously charged tip, I have to confirm it to you guys. Reason being, there's been people who have been impersonating other people a lot, you know, in order to get me to think it's a real tip, and then it's not, and then it gets charged back later. Just last night, someone tipped twice legitimately, and then someone impersonated them and did a third tip that was not really them, and I had to refund it. It's like, damn, this guy is just a loser. So I apologize that I kind of have to ask around and do this kind of stuff, but it's just a necessary evil for now, okay? Crash Bandicoot cheered. He said, you dodged a bullet not getting an Xbox right away. Many cases of bricking units, smoke coming out of the top, and screws falling out. The smoke thing was completely debunked. You realize that, right, Crash Bandicoot? That was some idiot who thought it would be funny to put vape smoke into his fucking Xbox Series X and then make a video about it and pretend like it was on fire when it wasn't, because he wanted to get viral attention on the internet. You know, a dumb fuck baby who thinks that it's funny to make people panic about their new console. He's an asshole, all right? But outside of that idiot, there are legit issues. There's always legit issues with a new generation of console. So, I'm not... Let me put it this way. Am I happy I didn't get an Xbox Series X? No. I'm sad that there's people who are having issues with the console. There's also people who are having issues with the PS5. Luckily, I've had a single issue. Not a game has crashed, right? Not a hard drive failure. Nothing. Like, everything's good. So, I'm happy about that because some people have reported that there were issues with PS5. So. FL Gibson cheered. He says, I feel like they're going to give Game of the Year to Last of Us 2 because Neil is a friend of Industry Insider. He's talking about Neil Druckmann, the lead on the game and head writer of the game. Then again, I expected Death Stranding to win last year because of Kojima's ties, but they gave it to Sekiro instead. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people expected Death Stranding to win only because Kojima is like a close personal friend of Jeff Keighley, and I don't think that's how it works. I don't think Jeff actually has a weight on what wins Game of the Year. I think he really lets the people who are nominated to be votees vote on the Game of the Year. All right, I don't think Jeff is going to steer his reward results towards one thing or another. Just because he's friends with Kojima didn't mean Kojima was going to win as a shoo-in. At the same time, sadly, we saw in 2020 most gaming journalists said that Last of Us 2 is like 10 out of 10 perfect game, best game ever, which is insanely bullshit. Right? We know it's insane bullshit. We know that's not the truth, but they're pushing that agenda. Okay? And so when they're pushing that agenda, you believe, oh man, they're going to basically say it's the best game and they're all going to vote for it and it's going to win Game of the Year. And that's what people are really worried about here. It's a little bit of a different situation. Last year, reviewers were actually mixed on Death Stranding. Okay? If you actually take a look, the reviewers were completely mixed on the game. They didn't necessarily 100% agree the game was the best game like they seemed to do with Last of Us 2. And that's where the concern comes in. Okay, so that being said, that's why people are nervous, including me. I'm nervous. I don't want the game to win Game of the Year when I feel at least 2 to 3 other games on the Game of the Year nominations listing are better games objectively than Last of Us 2. But we don't have a say. Only these industry insiders get a say, which is really stupid. Anyway, let's continue. Rob on Wheels did another 100 cheers. As it occurs to me, people who criticize you on Twitter don't have the capacity to use it effectively. I don't know why you continue to engage them. Well, there you go. See, I feel that when I engage in discourse on Twitter, it's a mixed bag. Some people are intelligent, and they are open-minded, and they do want to hear maybe another perspective outside of the one that they've had shoved down their throat for the past 6 months about a game like The Last of Us 2. But then there's people, like I said, who are just literally sheep. They're ignorant people who don't want to hear anything. Oh, you don't agree with me? Well, you're a bigot. Well, I'm not a bigot. Actually, instead of calling me a bigot, here's my review where I very in-depthly outline the flaws with Last of Us 2. Oh, I'm not watching that. You're a bigot. Wait, what? What? See, you can't help those kind of people. You cannot help those kind of people. Or you're a white male, so your opinion doesn't matter. So you're a racist. Oh, no, I can't be racist because you can't be racist towards white people. What? I can't help you now. Once you get to that point, it's like you might as well talk to The Rock because The Rock on the ground probably will give you more intelligent discourse than these brainless people. You know? That's the problem. And there's a lot of people out there like that. They just follow what they're told. Okay? So, at the very least, I do hope, excuse me. At the very least, I do hope that some people out there listen. And, it's funny because my tweet to Jeff Keighley about this, Game Awards, got over 250, well, I think it's like over 200 likes at the very least. So some people are listening. Some people care. Some people are willing to have an open mind, I guess. But not everyone, because not everyone is smart. Nothing you can do about that. Crash Bandicoot Cheered, says, now that the PS4 is done and dusted, were you happy with the console and its generation of games? Did it exceed the PS3 and PS2 generation, or was it underwhelming? If you really look at it on paper, PS4 did have a great run. At the same time, again, I'll say it, I feel like this last console generation was incredibly underwhelming for what it was promised. At the beginning of this console generation, we were being told you were going to get 1080p graphics, great frame rate, you know, games were going to be advanced. And in reality, outside of the fact that I would say in general, excuse me, games got longer in length. Games had more content added to them when it comes to hours or whatever. Like, for example, an open world RPG of the Xbox 360 PS3 era, in general, if you compare it with one of the Xbox One PS4 era, was much shorter in length and couldn't do as much. I would say this was really the era of the open world game where games just got overall way more content. When you bought a game for $60 and it was from a AAA studio, you usually expected anywhere from 20 to 40 hours of content, regardless of the kind of game it was. While last console gen, not so much. I could say half of last console gen, you were playing games that were 5 to 8 hours long and people were happy with that. It changed, definitely, this console gen. But when you really look at it and you say, what really groundbreaking changes happened? I would say the graphics got much better. If you take a look at the graphics by the end of the PS4, Xbox One era, a lot of games looking way more photorealistic in that regard. And outside of that, length of games. But were we really given the delivery of what we were promised? I don't feel so. I feel that we were overpromised and underdelivered. We didn't get games running at smooth 60 frames in many cases, which is ridiculous. Like, you know, 7 years and these game devs couldn't figure out how to utilize the hardware yet. It just doesn't make sense. And so because of that, you know, you have games that I feel would have been way better with a higher frame rate and you couldn't get it. You know, really PC gamers won this last console gen because they still got that smooth, buttery experience with all their games, while console gamers always had to settle for some kind of a set lower frame rate. And that's not fair. It's just not. So, no, I honestly do not feel last console generation lived up to the hype and lived up to the expectation that it promised at all. I think it was very disappointing in that regard. Okay? Although it is nice that we got longer games, and it is nice that we got generally better graphics. But I can at least tell you, at least at this launch window of PlayStation 5, the fact that every game I'm playing is running at 60 frames is a huge improvement. Like, it really changes the game. When it comes to certain genres of games, I feel this is going to be like a huge thing. It could be a game changer. So let's hope that this console gen, the game developers focus on, number one, good games, and number two, well-performing games. Let's stop it with, let's jump on the bandwagon of the fad of today. Enough with Battle Royale, enough with the fucking team-based looter shooters, or whatever the next fad. Fuck the fads. Make good games. Stop trying to cash in on a fad. And again, stop with the fucking gimmicks. We don't need motion controls. We don't need VR. We don't need smell-o-vision. We don't need any. We just want good games. If they just focus on good games and good graphical performance, this could be the best console generation ever. We're off to a good start with the PlayStation 5, but we needed to stay at that level and not fall into the abyss of bullshit that it always falls into. Okay? Let's hope that it doesn't fall into bullshit. All right? Technical 2070 took me $1.50 and said, love the videos. I can't think of any other streamer that's better than you. You're the GOAT. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that you feel that I am the GOAT. And thank you for the $1 tip. I appreciate it. Very nice, kind words. Crash Bandicoot cheered again. It's a breaking news. The Hitman developer, IO Interactive, are making a James Bond game. Great fit. I mean, it could be. I mean, of course, James Bond, unlike Hitman, has to be a little bit more action-packed. James Bond, always those movies have big set pieces, you know, a giant racing scene where there's a chase or explosions. James Bond on the run, James Bond chasing someone across Italy and blowing shit up. You know, I hope that they can utilize that and add in spy-like gameplay to action-based gameplay where there's, you know, big set pieces and stuff. But I think they'll do a good job. I do. I think that is a good developer, and they could do a pretty good job, so that's good news to me. Sounds good. Julie T. Gamer, cheers. Have you ever played the game King's Field for PS1? It It was FromSoft's first game, 10 times harder than any of the Soulsborne games. Never played a King's Field game. Nope. Absolutely not. Dino Sword has resubscribed. Hold on. I gotta spit this marble out of my mouth. Okay, let's try this again. Dino Sword has subscribed for 6 months and says, yup, I'm back. Well, Dino Sword, it's good to see you. Used to be a stream regular. Haven't seen you around consistently for quite some time. And I appreciate you coming back and resub. And thank you, Dino Sword. Welcome back. Chimera Dog cheers. And no offense, it seems you're just upset because your opinion was criticized. People didn't want to watch you complain about a game for an hour. No. That's not what happened at all. Maybe you should actually go back and, you know, you should go back and actually fucking read what I said or reread the situation because you are absolutely incorrect and you are a moron for saying stupid shit like that. Okay? Alrighty then. FL Gibson cheered and says, can one be a liberal and not be woke? See, I don't know, because here's the thing. The whole idea of being woke isn't a bad idea. Like everything, people tend to corrupt and twist it into something bad that it's not. Just because you want to be open-minded about things like race inequality and bigotry and things like that that actually genuinely happen, all right, doesn't mean that it's that, oh my God, you're completely overburdened with it and it's all you think about and you see it in every aspect of life. That's the difference. People who understand about these things but can kind of look at them logically versus someone who gets so caught up in it that now everything on life becomes about being woke. And you see, it's moderation. And everything in life is about moderation. And these people don't have self-control to the point where they can intelligently look at things in a moderate way. That's their problem. Okay? That's just their problem. That's the major problem with it. So, no, there's nothing wrong with actually being woke. There is an issue if every single thing on the planet Earth is now bad because you're woke and you see evil in everything. I mean, you're to the point where you're nuts. Okay? Crash Bandicooper cheered and said, I don't know how to break it to you. You fell into the trap and took their bait. Stay off Twitter. You're a Twitch streamer who plays games and have fun. I didn't fall for any trap. I don't even know what you're talking about. I made a tweet to Jeff, and a bunch of people responded, and I responded to some of them, and it's no big deal. You're making it a bigger deal than it is. At all. Dooley did a 100-bit cheer and said, managed to get a PS5 from Amazon today. It'll arrive at the end of the month. Happy to join the PS5 club before the holidays. Very nice. That's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that you got it, even though, you know, you're on the second or third wave, whatever you want to call it. I'm very happy to hear that you're going to be getting one, sir. Congratulations. Now, hopefully they actually live up to their promise and they do deliver it to you. Okay? Let's see here. The She-Wolf cheered. Said, what affordable headset do you recommend for PS4? I couldn't tell you. PS4 era, I was using leftover headphones from PS3 and Xbox 360 era. And then when they all broke, I bought Astro A40s, which I don't know if you would categorize them as affordable. They were around, I want to say around $300. I'm trying to remember because I bought them when they were on a big sale and it was like under $250. But in general, Astro headphones are pretty pricey and they're great. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed them, but that's not an inexpensive headset and I never really used an inexpensive headset. So, I couldn't really tell you. All right. Sorry that I really don't have more information about that. Shadow the Hedgehog did another 500-bit cheer. Said about The Last of Us 2 problem, the reason they use white male slurs because white liberals in the USA profit from racism. Oh my God, here we go. I'm going to read this, and just so you know, I'm going to preface this. I don't condone or agree with this statement. I'm just reading the statement of someone who cheered, okay? He says, it's a corporate business model in the country. Instead of focusing on legit issues, they need racism to profit off of. So you can just tell them that if they deflect legit criticism you have. For me, I didn't dislike Last of Us 2 for the story, but because Naughty Dog games after PS2 became movie games neglecting gameplay. Alright. The way I see it is, you're always going to have people who exploit things. Alright? Much like when the Black Lives Matter protests first started, and there were really nice, genuine people who were out there in the streets, who were busting their butts to try to get an idea across. You know what I mean? These are people who really felt that they were making a difference. And then within a week of that, you had anarchist idiots out there destroying everything to be shitheads to completely ruin the message. This is the problem. You have these people who corrupt and distort the message and do disgusting things. They take advantage, you know, and that's not right. But that's America. In America, everyone takes advantage of everything. Yeah, undoubtedly there's companies out there who literally sat down in a boardroom and said, so how do we strategize this whole woke Black Lives Matter thing to make money? It's fucked up. Really fucked up. You know, what the fuck, dude? Why would you do... You know, it blows my mind. But again, this is political shit. Let's get back to games, shall we? Ugly Tuner Roll tipped me $2 and said, just an FYI, anyone has a PS5 and owns Astro A40s or A50s, the mixer can connect to your TV optical port. It gives you the power to use your mixer. Works well. Oh, I'm well aware. The way I've done it is I have it USB. It's plugged into my PS4, so it's fully powered, and then the optical port goes for my TV, and that's how I get the audio. So I'm doing kind of the same thing. This is actually exactly what I do. What I do is I actually do this for Switch. Nintendo Switch has no audio output either. And so I've been doing this for the Switch ever since I had the Switch. Now, I don't get surround sound with the Switch, which sucks. But at least I get audio. See? So there you go. Crash Bandicoot Cheers said, if only Naughty Dog made Jak and Daxter 4 instead of Last of Us 2, none of this would have happened. Then he cheered again and said, we're on our second lockdown here in Ireland. I want to say thanks for entertainment to get me through it. You're welcome. We're also locking down again here in the United States everywhere. So, you know, we're all in the same boat, sadly. Okay? Turtle Dude cheered. He said, did God of War 2018 or Call of Duty Warzone make your PS4 Pro's fans freak out? Both these games made my PS4 overheat, and I kept it on a table with lots of space for ventilation. My PS5, however, runs them quietly, and I can play in peace. I have no idea. The way that I have my setup, all my consoles are at the other side of the room in the entertainment center, and I have headphones on. I've not once ever in the history of me doing content creation heard a console being loud. It's just not happened. I've never heard it. Because they've always been away from me. I'm not sitting next to them in a confined space where I'd even be able to hear the fans. And with headphones on, I can't hear it anyway. So, for me, I know there's been the running meme that PlayStation 4 is loud as shit. I've never heard that. Not once. So, I can't actually say anything about it. Snow Curl tipped me $1. I agree with you on Game of the Year drama. A lot of people are just following the Twitter hive mind. They're scared out of their minds of disagreeing and simply toe the line. Consensus mob mentality is scary. Yeah. And like I said, the game devs, Neil Druckmann himself, 100% promoted a mentality that if you don't like his game, you are a bigot. Like, that's exactly what he was saying with the way that he spun it. He's smart in that regard. I mean, it's completely dishonest, but it was very smart in that regard. Oh, if you don't like Last of Us 2, it's because you can't handle a strong woman. What the fuck? Did you even listen to a single critical review of your game? The answer is no. Because if you did, you would know that's not what anyone's saying. No one cared about Abby. People cared about your writing, which was fucking terrible. But he, as well as the voice actors, they all pushed this agenda on the internet, and all these mindless people got sucked into it. Frog Detective cheered and says, oh, here we go again. Liberal SJWs need to shut up. All right, enough of this. Last Rambo cheered. He says, I cannot recall any specific developer that promised 1080p 60 frames per second for PS4, Xbox One. It was the gamers that expected that. No. Last Rambo, let's be realistic here, okay? Last console gen, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3. The norm was 720p, 30 frames per second, and some games pushed the envelope like Call of Duty and ran at 60 frames per second. Am I correct in saying that? Right? So when you get a new console generation, there has to be some advancement, all right? There just has to be. Now, all games admittedly did run at 1080p. But if you're telling me that by running at 1080p, now your game runs at sub 30 frames, so you went 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. And that's what happened with a lot of these games. They couldn't even push 30 frames per second on new hardware. That's not acceptable. When you're spending money for a new console gen, you expect better, right? Even on PS4 Pro, some games are like, okay, the best we can do is lock at 30 frames. Like, what? PS4 Pro, the console that's supposed to be better than the other one, the base one, they still can't do high. It's like, geez. No, that's not an unrealistic expectation of the consumer. It's just not. When you're told this is the next gen hardware, this is, you know what I mean? This is the new shit, the hot shit, and you drop money for it, you expect something better, not something that's only slightly better or maybe not even better. You expect better. That's what you're spending money for. It's a value proposition, is what they call it. That there's value proposed in a purchase when you're making it. So the value proposition of buying the new console is you're going to get better graphics, you're going to get better gameplay, yada, yada, yada. If you don't get that, then it feels like you were overpromised and underdelivered. Even if the game developer didn't, or not the game developer, the console manufacturer didn't outright say, we promise you 60 frames. Since last gen the standard was 30 frames, it's implied this gen will be better, or else what are you spending money on? Why are you spending money for more of the same? You see? Okay, Crash Bandicoot cheered, asking about exercise. What the fuck are you talking about? It's nothing to do with my stream. Ugly Tuna Roll tipped me $1.30, says, I think you missed my previous tip. I did not. In fact, we just read it, right? It was down here. Yeah, we read that. Sorry, you know, Ugly Tuna Roll, you know, on these pre-streams, I get backed up. I tend to get backed up with a lot of these contributions, and it takes me a while to read through them. So I do apologize that I didn't get to your contribution immediately. But I got to it eventually. Thank you for the tip. TM52 Twitch, thank you for the $1 tip. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Oh, member, what the hell? Members EWF tipped me $1 and says, did you grow up listening to the Eagles? Are you a fan of their music? Not really. In fact, the only Eagles song that I know is like Hotel California. I really don't even know if I would recognize another Eagles song. The Hotel California is the one everyone's heard a million times. But outside of that, I don't know much about it. Okay? All right. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure I didn't miss anything now. All right, so what we can do now, shout out to the top cheers of the week. Thanks to those who have cheered so far this week and supported the channel. I appreciate that very much. We got Moosh Taba in 10th place. Crash Bandicoot in 9th. Frog Detective and Timbo Slicer tied for 7th. Fallout 3 Fan is in 6th. Golden Colts is in 5th. We got a tie for 3rd place, between Retro V 83 and Dr. Tony Huge. 2nd place is Shadow the Hedgehog, and 1st place is Rob on Wheels. Thank you guys for your cheers this week. Also, thank you to those who have gifted subscriptions to the channel. I appreciate that very much. We've got Django Pops, Dr. Tony Huge, The Mighty Onyx, and Diocletian, who all gifted a single subscription. Hot Hand Heck gifted 5 subs to the channel so far this week. Murdoch gifted 10 subs to the channel this week. Thank you, Murdoch. And Dig McLeod1 gifted a whopping 25 subscriptions. Thank you very, 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 very much, Dig McLeod, for 25 gifted subs this week. Super duper shout out and thank you. Timbo Slice Cheers had seen the first ever Cyberpunk TV ad last night, so fingers crossed, no more delays. Yeah, but there's no guarantee. There's still no guarantee. It could still be delayed. They could delay it a month and pretty much have zero impact on anything at this point. So, but yeah, let's hope it does come out in December. We'll see. Crash Bandicoot Judy says, don't you need the toilet before gameplay? Of course I do. I had coffee this morning. Of course I need to use the toilet before we get to gameplay. Always. Whenever I drink coffee, it's a given. Okay? Alright, folks. So, let's take a break. I need to use the bathroom. Alright? When I come back from break, we shall resume with my... oh my god. We shall resume with my... my brain is getting scrambled here because my fucking stupid phone distracted me. Astro's Playroom. That's right. We're finishing Astro's Playroom on this stream. Thank you guys very much. And I shall return shortly with Astro's Playroom. Thanks for being patient. I'll be back. See you in a bit. Thank you.